What?
Hey, you asked for this, damn it.
I did ask for this.
But it was amazing the first time. I really liked our first podcast, and you were number one. So, I mean...
Oh, my God. That's crazy.
It feels like when... I mean, we talk, and it's natural, although we don't talk that often. But, I mean... Sorry, we got to do an intro. Welcome to the Ericzone podcast. I'm with Danielle Kaymore again. You were there for episode 1.
Was it episode 1?
It was episode 1. You were the first. Well, I had like episode -3, -2, -1, episode 0. Episode 1 was you.
Oh, I'm so honored.
It was.
Yay.
Yeah. Welcome back.
Thank you. I'm glad to be back.
When we talk in the headphones, and even though you tell me you don't like your voice, you have a great voice, and you're a great talker, and you're a scientist. Aren't you a scientist? Don't you have like just to refresh the memory of everybody that listened to the first episode, you have a strong scientific background.
I did. No, I started university biochemistry, but I changed to psychology, and especially child psychology and human development.
So, could you please just keep this like about this? Because we need to capture your beautiful voice. So you really need to play with the microphone and keep it not too far. That's perfect. Good. That's amazing. Do you want to...
No. Okay.
I'll cut that part, but if you want, just let's pretend that I just said you have a scientific background and you have to answer that.
Yes. I started university biochemistry, but upon discovering the types of careers that led to, I quit and went to psychology because I just want to help people. So my background is psychology, history, and sociology. My master's is educational psychology and multicultural education. And that's really enough.
It is.
I have a lot of other small little certificates. My best friend tells me that I collect certificates, so I have quite a few.
But you're not doing it to flaunt it. You're doing it because you're on a quest. You like knowledge. You want to know things.
Yeah. And anything that I do, I want to do it like 100%. So if there is extra things and extra education that I can get that doesn't cost too much money, I'll go do it. So that's generally a certificate and something.
Preferably a diploma in the end.
Preferably, but...
Have you, I mean, aside from, where do you put your diplomas? Do you have a... I
don't hang them up at all. No. They're all in a box inside of a file cabinet.
So, but where do you apply it? How do you apply this knowledge? How do you...
Currently, I am a English teacher at a private school. I teach 5th grade in the afternoon and Sec 3 in the morning. So with my psychology degree, I do a lot of different things with the students. Our program is project-based learning. And so I tackle a lot of the different things involved in their lives currently. So I do a lot of child psychology with that.
Some teachers, they don't have that background that you have. And do you feel that they would not suffer, but they wouldn't be able to convey the knowledge fast enough in the context of a school? Like, as it builds character to be able to have all those degrees and like you grow.
I know that
I don't want to say you're better than all the other teachers there. That's not what I want to say, because everybody has his own...
Right, exactly. But I have been told, especially because I work at a gym, and when I was talking to the owner of the gym, she asked me about my education for the school. And once I said I had a master's degree, she's like, you have more education than everybody else that works there. I'm like... It's okay, but it's just differences. In the U.S., I had to have a master's degree. I actually should have gotten a PhD in order to really make any money in education or with working with children. It's just really sad how we don't invest as much money in our children in the U.S. as they do here in Canada.
We're going to go down a crazy rabbit hole if we start talking about the States and education. We can if you want.
Nope, we are not going there. No. Mm-mm.
Yeah, but
I'm here now.
No, that's true. But I mean, it does have an impact. Like the States will have an impact on everywhere across the planet. So, and that's strange in that sense, because only as an American you can be invested in who the leading alpha person is who that person is going to be. But I mean, the States have a influence everywhere. So
That's true.
anyways, I share my Bernie Sanders photos now and again.
Aw, you're a burner.
I am a burner.
Awesome. So am I.
I feel the burn. Wasn't it amazing when the bird landed on the podium when he was doing his speech? That was so
awesome.
beautiful.
That was
It was incredible.
Yeah.
You don't want to talk about
I
politics.
do not want to talk about
All right,
politics.
let's not talk about
Oh my gosh.
education. I mean, I am on a quest as well.
Okay.
I might not have gone as far as you've been, but I'm always watching documentaries. I'm always reading books. Well, not reading books as much as I should, but I do read a lot. So I am on a quest. It does take a lot of energy though, doesn't it? How do you stay healthy physically to be able to feed your brain in order to gather all that information and absorb all that info and not get tired?
Well, right now I work out 7 days a week for at least 40 minutes now, for at least 40 minutes a day. Some days are more, most days are more, but it has to be at least for 40 minutes a day. And I try to eat healthy. I really do. I have like a cheat day once a week, but I try to eat healthy. Lots of vegetables, lots of water. That's the key.
That's my problem, the hydration. Like right now I have a glass of water, but usually I'm not. Hydrating is really important and I don't seem to do it a lot. But I do have that diet that when I arrived in Quebec City, I was just grabbing food at the IGA pre-made stuff and my stomach got so angry at me. Ever since I've been really doing everything I can to stay healthy food-wise, making my own sauce. Like I pull out the 15-gallon
Oh my goodness.
thing and I toss all the veggies in there. I make this amazing sauce. I think I'm going to sell it. I don't have my face on the
The spaghetti sauce.
but it's more than the spaghetti sauce because it's the mother of all spaghetti sauce. It's not a spaghetti
all spaghetti sauce.
It's not a spaghetti sauce. It's ratatouille. I don't know. Ratatouille is even.
Ratatouille is not really a sauce.
No,
Ratatouille
it's not.
itself is a dish.
Yeah, let me just check it out. Ratatouille, because I need to see what a ratatouille is. There's a lot of veggies in there.
Yeah.
No, that's not I don't make ratatouille. I make this crazy sauce. Like every veggie is possible, I just toss it in there.
So
with
it's just
tofu and
Okay.
the tofu with beer, and then I let it drench for a bit. Yeah, it tastes so good after. And then you put all the veggies, you put the tomatoes, and you put anyways, this is not a cooking show, ladies and
It's
gentlemen.
probably just a vegetable stew.
Probably is, but it could be. Yeah.
Tofu vegetable stew.
But there's no beef. It's like a veggie sauce. But are you a vegetarian? Are you?
I am a fake vegetarian.
Okay, me
That
too.
is the best way I can.
I am
I
too.
try very hard, and I have one day a week where I'm actually vegan, but it's really hard.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Do you feel like you're not full enough, or you don't have the energy, or it doesn't give you the energy you need?
It's easier to prepare a quick meal with meat that tastes delicious versus how long it takes for preparation to make a delicious tasting vegetarian meal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
Salad is a little bit bland. It
Yeah,
doesn't-
salad. You can't have salad every day. That's just terrible.
That's true. Yeah.
So I've started actually making like big pots of things and then sous vide them close and freeze them, and then I can just grab them and go to work. Saves on time.
Yeah, that's my way of doing as well. I need to, when I get home, I don't want to have to cook for too long. I want to focus on what I have to do, my art, my paintings, my drawing, my playing guitar, whatever I have to do, filming, video editing. Am I selling myself right now? Yes, I am. But
A little bit more conceited now, aren't we? Oh,
no, but
no.
so I want to have time to. I've had a bad 5 last days. I'm really happy to see you. You put a smile on my face.
Yay.
Seriously, yeah. I'm really happy. I needed a in-depth, intellectual conversation, and those are fun.
Are we achieving that yet?
Almost. It's getting there. We're
Moving in the right direction now.
Definitely, yes. But so I want to get home. I want to eat the sauce that I made.
Right.
Either with like cheese or an egg or maybe a tortillas with the sauce, with spicy sauce. Do you like spicy sauce?
Yes, I like spicy.
And then I can move on immediately to like my project and stuff. So is that the way you see it, or?
Well, it depends on the day because, like I said, 2 nights a week I work at the gym. I have to really rush home from school to my house, then back to the gym, which is closer to the school than it is to my actual home. So I'm always on the go, and I don't like to just grab something that's not good for me. So I grab one of my pre-made meals and I can eat in the car. I do a lot of eating in the car.
Oh, yeah.
I drive and I eat, and that's very unsafe, but it happens quite a bit.
And is it good for? We can eat on the fly.
I'm sure.
That's good.
Yeah, it's not a problem. You shouldn't always because digestion is better when you're comfortable and seated and relaxed versus rushing around, but it won't kill you.
Did you know we have to sleep on the left side?
Why do we have to sleep on the left side?
Because the digestive system is like made in a certain way that if you sleep on your left side, then on like your left shoulder, then it helps with the digestion.
Oh, yeah. I never knew that.
Yeah.
I knew we weren't supposed to eat like 2 or 3 hours before bed because of digestion, but I never thought about it.
Yeah. I think it's a science fact. Well, we're not going to check it out. You can check it out later and go, he's full of shit, that guy. What is he saying? It makes no sense. Yeah. What's the name of that thing? The 12-hour, like you don't eat for 12 hours. What is that? The name of that again?
Oh, like a fast.
Oh, yeah, the 12-hour fasting. Yeah. I'm more and more into that stuff. Like
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if it works, but I don't have any problems with digestion, I don't know if it's the 12-hour fasting that helps for that, but
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I think it was
because I ate at 8 last night, and then I didn't eat until like 9 or 10.
The next morning.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or even later, actually.
It's really good discipline.
I'm not hungry in the morning.
Oh my God, I'm starving in the morning. Like, because supper is supposed to be your smallest meal.
Is it?
For digestion. Yes. See how that works? Oh, yeah. So supper is supposed to be your smallest meal. No, breakfast is your biggest, supper is your smallest.
Oh, yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Okay. No, breakfast I don't. Me, it's supper for sure. If I eat a lot, it's probably going to be supper at supper time. No?
I love breakfast. A nice brunch with everything, eggs and crepes and, oh my goodness, yes.
Like a Quebecois breakfast there?
No, because no ham, no beans, but no, like just crepe and eggs and potatoes.
That's great. That sounds great.
No, it's delicious.
It's more like an American or like continent-wise.
Continental.
Yeah, continental, like American continental, like the America. They took the name of the continent. How conceited is that?
Yes, it is a very conceited country.
You're Quebecois now. I could say
God,
that.
No.
No?
God, no.
No?
No.
All right.
No, I am a citizen of the world.
That's how I see myself. I mean, I like. We talked about this last time in episode 1, but I like Quebec. I like the idea of the culture thriving and surviving in this world where patriotism seems to be the prerequisite, but it's a child of the world. I mean, I'm someone like I want to be international. I want to be able to understand all the cultures and absorb it and understand how and why they acted that way or what their art is and learn from it and grow and exchange knowledge. And I think that's how it has to be. I mean,
no, I completely agree. That's why I like studying languages. I might not be that great in any of the languages that I speak other than English, but I still like to be able to have that door to be able to be open when I go to different places and meet different people, because the more we interact with others, the better we grow as a person ourselves. And hopefully we're also helping other people along the way. But I just like the freedom to be able to go and do things because, 1, because I can, and 2, because I can communicate. But it's great to embrace other people's cultures.
True. When you hear of someone from another culture that you would never think that they would know about Quebec or about, and then they tell you something, an anecdote or a story that they met a Quebecois or they met someone from whatever place on the planet, and you're like, oh wow, you know that place? You know, yeah, I talked with this person, was visiting, and I found that really cool.
I did not know about Quebec before. No, I did not know about Quebec. I never, and I almost every summer as a kid, because I grew up in the northern suburbs of Chicago, and almost every summer we would come to some part of Canada, but we never, ever made it to Quebec. Maybe it's too far of a drive, I don't know. But we never made it to Quebec, so I never knew that there was a French-speaking province of Canada until I was in university.
Wow.
And there were I was in university in South Florida, so there were the snowbirds, and so a lot of them were Quebecois and Quebecoises, and that was the first time I learned about Quebec.
It's crazy when I forget the dates there, but America or the States, they attacked Montreal and they wanted to make it to Montreal. I think they barely made it because of the cold, and they started shooting at the walls, and the militia or just push them back. I think that
I have never have I ever heard this story.
17 invasion of Quebec. Okay. That might have been in English though. 1775. Yeah, U.S. forces failed to conquer Canada. History.com. I don't know if they're gonna History Channel. But anyways, they tried to make it up there. It was the cold. The cold is crazy. It just eradicates armies. It just decimates armies. Like Napoleon when he went in Russia, or Hitler when he tried to invade Russia again. It's the cold.
I agree.
I wonder what the impact is culturally for the cold.
I hate it so much.
Yeah, me too.
I like
humbling.
winter. I like to look at it through the window because it is beautiful. It's all white and everything is clean and it's just lovely. But then once you have to leave the house, no, I hate it. I hate it. I have to wear so many layers. That's ridiculous.
That's true. I hate it as well.
No.
But
then there are people who love it. And I'm like, how can you love it? Help me to love it. No, I need people to teach me to love the cold.
I'm not the right person to do that.
Clearly.
I don't like winter. I've never liked it. Ever since I've been a kid, I was like, oh, one day I'm going to move. I'm going to move from here. I've never done it. I've never left. I've never gone elsewhere. And it's tough.
You've been in Quebec your whole life?
But I mean, I've visited other places, but yeah, I've been in Quebec my whole life. But not the city of Quebec there, the province there. I lived in Montreal and I moved around on the South Shore, and then I moved to Montreal. And then 4 years ago, I moved to Quebec. But yeah, I've always lived in the province.
Wow.
Yeah. I'd like New Zealand or to try New Zealand or what other country would be cool? Denmark or visit, try all these. I know it's cold there as well, but...
Yes. And I think the humidity is about the same too.
To escape the cold, yeah, probably, I don't know where. I'd go anywhere, I think.
Okay.
I think India would be too hot.
Yes, India is quite hot.
Have you been?
No.
Where have you?
It's on my bucket list, though.
Yeah. No, India is not a place that I don't think I would... I don't know. Maybe it gets too hot.
I don't know. It's just one of those cultures that's so vibrant. That's the reason why I want to go. 'Cause I want to shop in the markets and smell all the different spices and just... It's something that seems very... almost like tangible, just every corner of Mumbai and all the streets, and it's just somewhere I really want to go one day.
Yeah, for sure. Culturally, try to figure out, absorb the info and the culture.
Right.
It would be interesting. That's true.
Hot, but interesting.
Yeah. They were the how do you say, that's where... The number zero, or zero is not a number, but I mean zero as a concept comes from there, I think.
It's possible.
Yeah.
That's quite possible. I know the invention of the clock was from China, but that's...
It was?
Yes. I learned it on History Channel as a kid.
Can we trust History Channel?
Well, they're supposed to be reputable.
Yeah, zero.
Mesopotamia.
The first, look it up on Google, but the first recorded zero appeared in Mesopotamia around 3 BC. Okay, so that's not India.
No.
It was later devised in India in the mid-5th century, spread to Cambodia near the end of the 7th century into China and the Islamic countries. Yeah, the Islamic countries were crazy smart back then. Like they still are, but there's a lot of war now, and now it's. Did I come out wrong? Okay, let me say that again. The Islamic countries. Let me do that again, please, or else they're gonna come for me.
Stop.
The Islamic countries, like 600 AD, they were such conveyors of knowledge. You compare them to the French, who were just like crusading and pillaging and raping. Oh my God.
There was a higher devotion to education and learning and moving beyond what was already known in other countries.
Yeah. Like medical wise, the Islamic medical practice was so advanced compared to the King Richard's army or whatever, his people of like post England invasion or whatever, and they were anyways. I don't have all the details, but it's yeah, the Islamic countries were such conveyors of knowledge. It's sad that that damn crusading philosophy of like destroying the Middle East is still current. It's insane how it's. Anyways, no politics.
No.
Happy, but I just want to say that because I want to do anything as possible to help with the conduction of knowledge or sending the knowledge out there in the universe whenever there's like, if with my abilities with podcasting or with cameras, video editing or anything. Like I was carpooling yesterday and I was talking with a person, which like we've carpooled like maybe 5 or 6 times now. And she wrote a report on swamps there.
Okay.
All different kinds of swamps. I'm going to say with swamps because I don't know the exact word that would determine, explain what she wrote in her report. But I was fascinated. She was telling me all this work that she did with some of her colleagues from her job. And it's an amazing report. She says it would have such an impact on the government, how they treat the environment.
So she's an environmentalist.
Yeah, she studied. I don't know exactly what she studied, but she is. Okay. But I mean, she's a not a biologist, but she's studied in that field, for lack of a better word. And I told her, I'm like, you need me to film or help you convert the report into like a video format. I'm definitely there. Yeah.
No, that would be cool.
Yeah.
I think we're such visual learners now that we kind of need documentaries or at least some form of video project to help us explain things.
For sure.
Like we're losing the art of being able to read and make a picture in our heads for ourselves. Now we need the picture constantly given to us. So it would be a really great idea to help her out. Yeah,
I'd love to. Isn't it fun? I think it was my uncle. He was on the podcast as well. I can't remember what the date was or which episode it was, but I don't know if we talked about it on that episode. But he said how the impact of books when people had access to books, like people were against them because they said that it would like make your brain lazy because you would lose the oral.
Oh, the oral
traditions of
Oh wow.
So imagine. So we're always, like, there's always something to say against new medias.
There is.
Yeah.
There is. Yes.
You can get paper cuts with books. They're so dangerous. Why would you want to read those?
Well, nobody reads books anymore. It's all on a tablet or a Kindle.
Yeah. I am afraid of technology and like, I'm tired of clicking the mouse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going in the other direction.
I'm trying. That's why I'm really pushing, trying to paint, I think I'm hooked.
I know I am. I'm
the like, phone, is your phone your...
Yeah. I mean, it's right here. I can't even... it's too far.
iPhone.
No, I feel like I'm as bad as my students. I know. It's bad because even when I'm doing a lesson, and I hate writing on a chalkboard, it's absolutely like, oh, I hate it so much.
Because you're afraid it's going to scratch?
No, I'm just more like, oh, multimedia, here's a PowerPoint, let's do a smart board, but no. So when I have to write on the chalkboard, it's like I instantaneously forget how to spell something. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how is this word spelled? So I pick up my phone and I'm like speaking into my phone. I'm like, okay, Google, how do you spell spontaneously? And then I'll finish writing what I'm writing on the board. So my students are like, I'm like, I'm not using it as a dictionary. I'm just using it for spelling. That's acceptable. You all can do that too. But it's really like, and I'm always so professional, and then it's like, I forgot to spell the word. And
I think it happens to everybody. There's way too many words.
There's
way too many
ridiculous.
of those goddamn things. What are those things?
No.
There's a documentary, it's called The History of the English Language.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It was produced like early 90s.
Here are
So
some documentary selections. The Elephant Queen, The Engineering Story, High School Musical, The Musical, The Series, The Special, Empire of Dreams.
oh, wow. Phone, you're my friend.
Turned her
The
on.
World of
How the hell did she listen to me?
Do you want to hear the next 5?
Do you want to hear the next
No, Siri, thank you.
See, this is the bad thing about technology.
Say I'm sorry.
She was listening to you the whole time.
That's crazy. That's scary. History of the English language.
Okay.
And it's great because they travel through time and they explain like how, like as an example, like the Danes invaded, the French invaded, the French Normans invaded, and every time it's like a different, like the language changes, it evolves. There's poetry, there's culture. It creates more culture, and different words seem like they might say the same thing, but there's this tiny nuance, and it's really interesting. That documentary is one of my favorite. Actually, I'm going to put it on Google just so I can have a look at it. Just 2 seconds.
Definitely have never heard of that documentary, but it sounds like it would be helpful. Because I always get questions like that, like especially with the OUGH words.
Oh, yeah.
And
He makes fun of
like,
those, I think.
Miss, why is it like that? I'm like, I don't know. That's a linguistic thing. I have no idea. And I use dictionary.com a lot to figure out like the roots of a word. So I'm sure this documentary would be something.
It's great. Seriously, you want to watch a good thing, you can check it out. History of the English language. That guy's like a really, not this guy. This guy.
This is a commercial.
Who's this guy?
It's a commercial.
I'm just gonna, it's not going to be in the podcast. I just want to show you. It's really interesting. This guy is like a professor or something. I don't know his credentials, but he waves his hands around a lot. But his
That
hair
makes
is
him important.
Yeah, exactly. He's yeah. Anyways, it's great. It goes from the beginning with the Beowulf, the ancient Germanic languages, how they influenced, like, and some words today are still in the English language. So it's really fascinating, this documentary. I love this one. It's great. As an anthropologist, you would like it.
Okay. We read Beowulf when I was, I want to say in 8th grade, so that would be Sec 2 here, but 8th grade there. And it was impossibly hard to read. But it was just to teach us, and I think it was a lot like that, to teach us the roots and the backgrounds of English. We also read the Jabberwocky by Lewis Carroll, which was not written in another language, but wasn't written in English either. The way he used his letters and onomatopoeia, it was to create the feeling that the Jabberwocky was supposed to invoke a sense of fear and dread in the reader. So instead of writing it in English, he just wrote it in this phonetic language of his own. And it was really fun to read it in class and realize that we could still understand what it said without understanding what it said. It's like we got the sense behind the words without understanding the actual words.
Wow.
So it was always fun.
What's the name of that guy? I want to check that out.
Lewis Carroll.
Lewis Carroll?
Yeah.
But that's like
Alice in Wonderland.
19th century. Jabberwocky?
Jabberwocky.
Jabbernathi?
It's from oh my gosh, it's from Alice in Wonderland.
Oh, it was a character from the Alice in Wonderland? It's like a sequel?
It was, no.
Or a spin-off?
No. It was a nonsense poem. There you go. It is a nonsense poem, but it's in the story of Alice in Wonderland.
Okay.
She's fighting the Jabberwocky.
Wow. Interesting. There's a book that was written by a French poet. I think there's a book without the letter E.
Oh, wow. How is that even possible?
I don't know.
No. Like every word
I reject
has
what you just said. It makes no sense.
I'm sure it's possible, and I'm sure it took a very long time to write.
Georges Perec, is that right? La disparition, I think.
Wow. A whole story without the letter E.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. And it's sold.
Apparently.
Copies.
I think I read a page and there's actually no letter E in it.
Wow.
Georges Perec. I'm going to look at the Lewis Carroll. That's Jabberwocky. That's an interesting name. So, what to like to fend off those the thing about being addicted to technology, is that why you're into the gym, or is that like your body is like, okay, that's enough, let's... No. You're just a warrior?
No. I wish. No, Christmas of 2018, I was at an office Christmas party and I won a Fitbit. And I was like, oh. So I put it on and then it became my new addiction. So I have to like feed it so I feel good about myself. It tells me how to live and what to do. So,
really?
Yes.
Fitbit,
No,
let me
like...
just look at it.
Oh, no. I can show you.
Oh, you have it here? Oh, wow.
Always. It never comes off. It's ridiculous, I tell you. It's just a fitness tracker. So it tracks my steps and my steps, my calorie burn, how long I actually am moving around, and it makes sure that I move at least 250 steps per hour. So it's very...
It sends you a warning, you need to do your 250 steps?
It shows up on my data, and so then that makes me sad if I don't. It's like I have to please it.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like a Tamagotchi, or do you remember those?
Yes, I do remember those.
Tamagotchi, I think that's what
them and pet them. And yes, the little pocket.
But now you're feeding and petting yourself.
I am. And it's worked out because I originally set some goals for 2019, and they were really small goals. It wasn't anything dramatic. I just wanted to fit in this blue dress I bought, and I'm like, oh, I gained a little weight, I can't fit in it. So I just wanted to get in this blue dress. And then I just wanted to teach a few Zumba classes at the gym. Now I work at the gym and I teach Zumba classes. So it's like everything kept progressing, and then it just became something that I absolutely love doing. So I got like a fitness instructor certificate. I got a Zumba instructor certificate. I got a strong instructor certificate, and I'm looking forward to getting 2 others. I don't know what yet, but I'm looking at figuring out which ones I like the most. So it's fun. I love it. I love the confidence that it's given me.
Yeah, endorphins. Oh my God.
Like I've always had confidence, but I'm much more confident now because... so with the fitness, I was confident enough to try out for the musical Gypsy.
What's that?
It is a musical about, I think the setting is the 1920s, and there's a family who does vaudeville, but vaudeville's dying, and the mother is trying to push her youngest daughter to becoming a star, and eventually the youngest daughter runs away with another young man she's in love with, but he was in their vaudeville group. So the group breaks up, and the mother has to turn her attention to her older daughter, who she's always ignored. And somehow the oldest daughter ends up becoming a burlesque dancer. And that's it. She becomes the most famous burlesque dancer of all of that era and time period. And so that's what it was about. And I would never have auditioned for it because there's the mom, there's the manager, there's the 2 sisters, and then everybody else is just different characters around it. but it was the possibility of being a burlesque dancer. And I was like, oh, I'm old and I'm not, like, everybody's 20 years old who auditions. And I am nowhere near 20 years old. So it really helped me with my confidence to work out and audition. Of course, I got one of the roles of a burlesque dancer. So I was really excited to be like, oh, I'm like about to be 40 and I'm acting with 20-year-olds and I have the least amount of clothes on, but it's really cool at the same time. So it was nice. It was really like an ego boost. So I've been kind of riding that for a while now.
Is it still being shown?
No,
or-
it's closed now.
Okay.
Yeah, it was in.
Can we look it up? Can we see some?
I think it was November.
Wait, let's go
It was
have a
at-
look so I can put those images while you talk about it.
You
What's the
can,
name again, please?
Well, actually, look up Brava. Yes, Productions. Haha. right
Okay.
there. So that's the production company that put on
Gypsy.
the play. Yes. There you go.
Wow, that must have been. Have you ever done this? Like performing on stage?
Not since high school.
Oh wow! So,
it was
like this is your first
really,
production.
Yeah, because in high school it was pretty much theater, and then in university it was pretty much television and movies, and so this was a nice return to the theater. And our next upcoming musical is Big Fish.
Oh, you're still in the group there. You're still
Yes.
involved with them. That's amazing.
Yes.
That's really cool.
I absolutely adore it. And it's been a nice, I really needed something to do that was my own because I've spent so many years taking care of my children. And now that they're old enough and they have their own jobs and they have their own lives. And now I'm like, oh, I want to do everything I couldn't do and run around. And so I've always wanted to return to doing theater, and I've always wanted to, well, and I need to exercise to stay healthy. Might as well get paid to exercise.
Yeah, seriously.
Save some money in that way.
Wow. And how will your role or you started off as a burlesque dancer and now is it more elaborate, the dance moves? Are you evolving? In what sense are you evolving?
Ooh, the character that I played was a burlesque dancer.
Okay, there's acting though.
Yes. Oh, yes. It's an actual musical.
That's amazing.
With acting and singing. I had
You're
to
a singer,
sing
too.
and dance. Yes.
That's great.
Yes. I'm a singer and a dancer ever since I was very young.
It's amazing.
So, yes. And our upcoming Big Fish is. It was
that was a movie. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
It was a book. And then Tim Burton asked to make it into a movie. From the movie, it was then made into a musical. And now we are doing the musical Broadway adaptation.
Yeah, Ewan McGregor. But you went there because you wanted to have some kind of like you wanted to be physical, you wanted to move, how did the acting, how did that?
On Facebook, I am a part of this group, this acting, when actors and actresses are looking for jobs. And they posted for an audition for Big Fish. And I auditioned for Big Fish and got a leading role. And so then they published another audition for Gypsy. And I was like, I would love to have the leading role, but having a leading role in 2 plays, it's a lot to memorize. So I was like, no, I just want to do something more fun with Gypsy. And so I wasn't auditioning for anything like major because that would have been a lot of stress.
2 shows at the same time?
No, they are not. Well,
just
we
rehearsing.
rehearsed, a lot of the same time. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to play somebody that's absolutely nothing like myself. No, she was clearly this is the character I made for her because she was such a small part. She didn't have like a backstory. So in my head, she was a young lady from Georgia. Just seemed right. From Georgia, who wanted to become a dancer, but knew she couldn't become a dancer in Georgia in 1920s. So she moved to New York to try to become a dancer, but she only found burlesque was the only thing she could do, and which made her sad because she was raised better than that, and so it made her drink, and then she was the drunk burlesque dancer, and that's exactly what my character looked like. Every time I was on stage, I was a drunk, just drunk. It was a lot of fun. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exhilarating to
Yes.
To just express yourself and
Yes.
scream and move and dance.
And the costume, just something I would never, ever, ever, ever wear anywhere. There's no point of ever wearing it. And it was freeing. It was so nice. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm actually sexy. So it was a lot of fun. It was fun.
Look for some photos.
I don't know why they don't have photos. I know they have Instagram.
Yeah.
There were a lot of
What
photos
do you
on
want to
Instagram.
give the Instagram name so people can go check it out?
I think it's just Bravi Productions.
Yeah, go ahead. Give the name, please. You gotta...
Yeah, Bravi Productions.
Instagram /Bravi Productions.
Yes.
For some nice photos, nice group of people.
Creative group of young people. Most of them are very young. In their 20s, and some are still in university working on their master's degree. No, they've been doing a lot, and I think because they've done a lot in other places, they wanted to bring it back to Quebec, maybe, because they go everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Like they've performed in many different places, doing many different things individually, and then they just came together to do something here in Quebec now.
Where did you travel a lot with this, or did it stay in Quebec?
Oh, no. They did the play What If. They did one show, 2 showings in Ottawa, and then here also in Quebec. But I just mean the founding members of the group are people who've traveled all over the world doing their craft and their trade. And
Okay. I think we had the name of the...
yes, Zeta.
Zeta. Oh, here they are.
Yes, she's an amazing opera singer that is just blown away by her voice all over the place.
Really?
She was in Europe this summer singing. She's amazing. And Phil and Anne are
Philippe
very
Girard.
great at what they do as well.
Anne Payet. So go look at braviproductions.ca if you want to see some photos and look at the cast and the group of people working behind those productions. So you had no idea you were going to do that?
I had no idea. I kind of had an idea of the part that I would get, honestly. Because during the audition, I was like, they asked me which part I was auditioning for. And I'm like, Gypsy, maybe Gypsy, but probably not because I'm kind of old. So then, and I'm like, I would just be happy to be one of the other burlesque dancers because I'm sure that would be fun too. And then when I did my song, I added a little dance to it. So it was like, yeah, well, she's a dancer. She should probably be a dancer in the show. So it just made sense.
Okay, but I mean, initially, you never, like theater, you hadn't done it since school, so it wasn't something you were...
No, I actually had pretty much given up on anything such as theater or dancing with a dance troupe and all those things when I moved to Quebec. At first, it was just because I needed to learn French first. And then after I learned French and I started... trying to integrate into like the dance schools or the dance schools and the theater, the other production companies that are here in Quebec, because there's another English production company, the Quebec Art Company, I want to say, but I'm not really sure. The QAC. And so really trying to reintegrate with people was really hard at first. So I kind of given up on everything. I was like, I don't want to do it. I'll find other things to do, which was really throwing myself into studying and throwing myself into figuring out a new career path while being here in Quebec. Moving to Quebec I became timid. I became really timid because I was afraid that I would sound bad speaking French, or I was like, oh, this is not my culture. I don't know the right things to say most of the time. So I became really timid, and I'm like, I'm not a timid person. Like, who is this? And like, it drove me crazy. So it was really nice to get my stamina back and my courage and go out and not be afraid to speak to people. And that's really a big part of what I do at the gym. So it's really fun. At first I made a goal for myself. I had to speak to one stranger in French every day for at least 10 sentences. And so I would sit there and I would count my 10 sentences while the person was talking. And I was like, okay, thank you. Salut. And it was like really weird, but I had to start building up the confidence because before giving a class at the gym, I have to greet them. I have to tell them safety protocols. I have to, build up the fun of the class. Like, we're going to dance. We're going to like make jokes. And I had to learn that confidence and I just didn't have it in French. I'm just like, oh my God. And when the owner asked me, I was like, but my French, she's like, your French is fine. What are you talking about? I'm like, my French is fine. And so it was really nice. And so, yeah.
But how long have you been in Quebec now?
Oh, no.
No?
This December 16th makes 10 years.
10 years.
And I actually did not celebrate it because I was very angry this month. So. No, it was a very bad month. It was a hard month.
Well, we could have partied for your 10th anniversary of being in Quebec. We could have done a podcast in French.
See, no. See, no. I tried to ignore my anniversary. Yeah. I don't know. I was like, I guess because it has been 10 years, it's like, oh my God, I've been here for so long. I just felt it this year. It was like, I haven't been home in forever. Like, but that's not my home. This is my home. And it was like a really like deep reflection and contemplation about like, this is my new life and now it's time to accept it. And like I own a house. I have a career. Like I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. Yeah. So, and it was also, I thought like in my head, I always thought like at 10 years, everything would be settled and I would be back, or not really back because I don't believe in moving backwards, but be on the next leg of my adventure, wherever that would have been. But maybe my adventure is more calm for right now. Yeah. Just finding fun things to do here.
Yeah, you got to balance it out and do certain things that exactly like what you're doing with the Gypsy and Big Fish, and balance out the quiet Quebec life.
Yes. And that's just it. Especially since I don't even live in the city. I live in the country. I live in Beauce. It is like so calm and so quiet, except for 1 week a month, or no, 1 week a year in the summer. We have Expo Saint-Isidore, and it's like truck pulls and cow contests, and it's really super cowboy time.
You're living with cowboys.
So I live in the country, which is very funny. It's very, very different from growing up in the suburbs of Chicago that was always busy and go, 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 and people all the time on the street. And it's like, oh, wow. But they're surprisingly, because I live in Centreville of my little town, that there's always people walking around. It's a very lively community. They're very active. They exercise, they walk around, they interact. So in that way, it's lively, but it's still like maybe 600 people in our town. So it's still like very foreign to me. It's very small. It's too small. It's way too small.
Sounds nice there.
It's very nice. It's very peaceful.
I got to think about where I'm going to be in like 10 years or 5 years or 10 years, or do I want to live in more like a situation like that? That sounds great. Like away from the cities, I could take a little bit of the city at a time. Like I wouldn't want to live in the center of like a centre-ville or the city. And your situation sounds great.
It is nice. Yeah. So like I completely get you have that break. And then when I want a little more excitement or a little more entertainment, I just come into Quebec and find something to do. Yeah. And there's still like little bars and little things. Actually, our town does not. We have a resto bar. I was like, we do not have a bar. We have a resto bar. And I don't even think it's open all year round. It's run by these most adorable retired couple. And it's really cute. But so there are things to do.
Can I have a look? What does it look like? What's the name of it?
Très bon.
Très bon.
Très bon.
Let's go have a look inside the resto bar.
Oh,
Tribon?
what?
Ah, Tribon. See
President
photos.
Kennedy. Yes, I doubt if they have photos.
Wait, I'll click here. Oh, it's kind of like a diner kind of feel.
It's a cute, yeah, exactly. It's like, it's not even like, it's just a cute little restaurant with alcohol, but
That's great.
it's a mom and pop restaurant. It's really cute. And that's a big spot. But we have an arena, and that's actually, so if you have like hockey people know my town because we have an arena, and like, that's it. It's cute.
That's great.
It's
Simple things in
calm.
life.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I get to have a garden, so that's really nice. Yes, every summer.
Wow, that's great. I have zero gardening abilities, but I would like to know how to survive if there's like a society's
Zombie
just
apocalypse.
crashes. Yeah, exactly. Are you a survivalist? Do you, in that sense? Yeah, you are.
It is the funniest thing. I know, I really am, and that's like really why I love having my garden, because I'm like, okay, I got to figure out how to grow this, and yep. And I recently learned that sunflowers, so when you plant sunflowers, they act as a detoxificator of the soil.
Really?
So it's like, ooh, this is good
Wow.
to know. It's like, I'm preparing.
In the sense that if you put too much of certain products, then you use those plants to clean the soil or
Yes,
re-energize.
exactly.
Oh, wow, interesting. I have zero knowledge in that. I don't know if I can follow you in this conversation.
Oh, no,
I'd like to know, but
No, it's the only thing I really know. Like, everything else has been an experiment. Like, I'll buy a pack of seeds and I'll go on Google and I'll read like when's the best time to plant them and then like what to do with them. But just because I want to have a nice garden, because I've grown pumpkins 2 years in a row. I had blueberries this summer, but they were eaten by some small creature. I had no idea. I built my own composter. I felt like super tough doing it because I got to use a sledgehammer. It was really cool. It's like a sledgehammer and tiny little shorts. I look like a 1980s rock video. It was quite fun.
That's really cool.
It's so much fun learning how to do things by myself because growing up, like pretty much, well, here I would be a city girl. So I grew up like a city girl and I never had to do anything. You just go to the grocery store. I had tulips in my front yard and I didn't even take care of those. We had people who did that for me. So I didn't know how to do anything. So it's really nice learning.
Has it saved you a little bit of money on the groceries or no way? A little bit.
It could because we definitely eat more fruits and vegetables in the summer than we do any other time of the year. But it would if we had more of an overabundance. We have just enough to where it's like we could eat 2 days maybe, but not like storage. It's just
no, obviously. Oh yeah, no, you're right.
No, but there are people who do that who have huge gardens, and that's the reason why. But I would love to one day, but right now it's just more like feeling good that I grew a tomato, feeling good that I grew like the first year I grew 5 pumpkins. This summer I only grew 2 pumpkins. So like, what did you do wrong? And yeah, so it's just more of the learning experience.
That's great. That's your scientific learning. I need to learn. I need to know.
I do.
Try it. And, yeah.
I like trying new things and learning things.
Yeah, me too. Do you have a forest next? Do you go in the forest a lot?
No, we only have farms. We are surrounded by farms.
Okay.
Farms for days.
Really? Okay.
Yes, because when I go running, it's just all farms. Like Centreville of our town is a half a kilometer in all directions from the church, which I guess is the center of most towns in Quebec. So it's a church, and there's a half a kilometer in all 4 directions, and that's Centreville, and that's my town, and everything else is just farms and farms. It's a lot of fun running.
Yeah.
And it's very quiet. Very quiet. It's easy to get lost in your head. That's why I like it.
And the commute, how's that? To go to work, you need to commute like...
Thankfully, I work in Levy, so I just take the back roads, and it's...
You were living in Levy before.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was living in Levy.
So you're going further and further away from...
Further and further away from Quebec.
Maybe slowly you're leaving.
No,
you just don't know. You are technically.
Technically, that's true. When I lived in Lévis, it was like 15 minutes from Quebec. Now it's like 35 minutes from Quebec.
I think you are leaving.
No, I still have to come back. I'm here every Saturday and Sunday for play rehearsal or choir rehearsal or singing. Or,
What's your vocal technique? How do you... Do you have any vocal warm-up stuff that you listen to? Did you practice with, or?
No, I'm going to be completely and totally honest with you. So, growing up in the Southern Black American culture, a lot of us, when we went to church as a child, you were split into two teams, children that could sing and children that could not sing. And I was stuck in the children that could sing, so I was in the choir. If you could read, because some kids were really little, so if you could read, you would get the words on paper. But I never learned how to read music, and I spent my whole life singing, and it was just really interesting because I never had to be serious about singing before. It was always just because I grew up singing in the choir, and I sang in the choir in school. And I sang in the choir at school, and I would do musicals, and I would just sing a song from one of the mini choirs that I was in. So I never had to really, what am I? I'm a soprano. And it was just always like, are you mezzo soprano? Are you this? Are you that? And I was like, I don't even know what these words mean. And so especially auditioning, they were like, what's your range? I'm like, soprano. Like, okay, but I'm like, I have no idea. So like, I never was formally taught music until now. And now I have to learn everything. And I'm learning how to read sheet music. And I have a piano at my house. And I know like which key to hit so that I can hit that pitch. But it's still all very new. It's like I've been singing my entire life, but now I'm learning notes and learning how to read music and learning how to keep time. And it's really fascinating. I know. It's kind of like, I think, kind of parallel for me in my mind to like Josephine Baker, because it's a very similar background. It's like we do these things in our culture and our society, and it's just what we do all the time. And until somebody sees that we have a talent and we're taking away from our community, that we actually start to learn proper techniques and proper ways of doing things. And she's one of my idols, so I'm like, I kind of like that.
So Josephine Baker is an inspiration and influence.
Yes.
Vocally. And how would the dancing, who would be, is there...
It's still Josephine Baker, because...
I don't know Josephine Baker that much, I'm sorry.
She was a Black American woman who left the South and moved to Paris, France, where she was given the opportunity to learn ballet. And she became famously known for the coconut dance. It's like a risque ballet where she just wore a banana skirt and a coconut-like type of top. And she was just this amazing person who took the opportunities that she was given and helped other people. Because while she was in France, she worked for the French Foreign Legion during, I want to say, World War II. And during that time, she actually was injured and ended up losing the ability to have children. But with that, she adopted children from all over the world. And like her children are actually called the Rainbow Tribe, because they were from many different countries. They were just children who really needed a family and needed someone to love them. And so she's just like overall like a role model for me, singing, dancing, and just the love for people that she had, and how she noticed that because she had things better, she tried to make things better for other people. And that's definitely something that I do with my life, like at my job or at the gym or in a play. I want other people to be happy with who they are and realize how much they have and how great our lives are, because everybody's not as privileged as we are.
That's a really great philosophy to have, and a good way to live your life. Is it good that we stop it there?
Yeah.
And we should do this again.
We should do this again.
If ever you're in the neighborhood, if ever you want to come in and have a chat, we'll definitely have another podcast.
Definitely.
Are there any other projects that you would like to
Well,
throw
yes,
out there?
I should definitely hype up Big Fish, which will be in June.
Théâtre de la Cité Universitaire Big Fish, 13 juin, 14 juin, braviproductions.ca.
It is in Quebec, but it is in its original language, so it will be performed everything in English.
Thank you very much, Danielle.
Thank you for having me.
Do you like when your name is said like in French? It sounds very...
Say it again.
Danielle.
It sounds more like the boy way of saying it.
I
don't like it. No, because, everything in French is like masculine and feminine. And
Oui.
so I'm like, no. Because in English, because it's Danielle and there's Danielle, which is from the boy, which is my dad's name. So please don't call me my dad's name. So it's weird.
Danielle, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. I think that's it. We didn't do an intro though. I should do an intro. That's perfect. Yeah.
Cut.
Cut.